Today, I'm going to be giving you guys 3 simple and easy steps that you could start implementing today if you're trying to convince your parents to get you an e-bike, but no matter how hard you try, it seems like you're not convincing them. Although I did pay for both of my bikes, I've been in the same struggle many times, and it took me a lot of time to learn how to do this. So if you're someone that desperately wants an e-bike and your parents won't get you one, this video is definitely going to help. Which, real quickly, before we get into step number 1, make sure to drop a follow and like, because I'm standing out here in the cold snow right now to make this video. Now anyways, starting us off with step number 1, you need to stop asking your parents for something like a Sur-Ron if you've never gotten an e-bike. Which, although you still can convince a lot of parents to get you a Sur-Ron at the start, I could almost guarantee 99% of parents aren't going to get you one. Which is why you want to start off by trying to convince them to get you something lighter. Whether that be a Tudio, which I would recommend for the most, which I'm not sponsored by Tudio, but if you do want to check one out, you can go to tudiosport.com and use my discount code Etronics to save some money. Or even something as low as an Amazon pedal bike that's like $500 and it's still pretty high powered and a great bike. My point is, don't go to your parents if you've never gotten an e-bike begging them for a Sur-Ron or an E-Ride Pro or even a Talaria expecting to get one. Because really, you've never had a chance to explain to your parents on how you could be safe using it and how they're reliable. Which is why I would totally recommend starting off with something like a smaller Amazon bike or even a Tudio. Which already, if you started off with this step, your parents are much more likely to get you an e-bike. Now moving on to step number 2, you want to truly explain to your parents why you want an e-bike. And I'm not talking about the casual go up to your parents and say how you'll be outside the house more and everything like that. Because yes, that is true. But when you say that, your parents really aren't listening. Because that's just the same old excuse that's never going to stand out and your parents are just going to get bored of it. So how can you give your parents a good description on why you want an e-bike? Well, you really need to be able to explain to them what an e-bike could do for you. And a few examples of that, which actually still go along the lines of telling your parents it'll keep you outside the house more, you want to find actual scientific research on why an e-bike is actually good for you. And of course, there's tons of studies out there saying that e-bikes are bad for you. But I mean studies like getting outside the house more and what it could do for you, as well as how getting an e-bike could help you learn for situations later on in life, such as whether that may be driving or interactions with Karens that you see down the road that are complaining about your bike. But where I'm going with this is you want something that's going to be standing out. You don't want to go up to your parents and say, "Mom, can you please buy me an e-bike? I'll be outside the house more." You almost want to go up to them and be like, "Mom, did you see if you're outside the house more, whether that be on an e-bike, you're going to be helped out a lot?" Such as it could even add years to your life. Which that was a really bad example, but something along the lines of that. And no, what I just said there was not true. At least I don't know. But really, for the conclusion on step number 2, just be more specific when you're talking about why you want an e-bike. And now this has been a fairly short video, but moving on to step number 3, arguably the most important and what most kids do, is stop begging your parents for a bike. I see all these kids talking to your parents about an e-bike constantly. It's like they don't even get a break. Every single conversation an e-bike is brought up. And when you're doing this, your parents are just going to get sick and tired of it, and the idea of getting you an e-bike is just not going to sound fun in their mind. And even if you use the other steps I gave you, they're still not going to want to get you one. And don't worry, because if you've already fallen victim to this mistake, you could still redeem yourself. You just want to make sure you're following the steps from earlier, and only bring up e-bikes or what you want in the right time. Whether that be if your parents are in a good mood, and you just want to say, "Mom, could I pull you aside for a second to talk about something?" And when you pull her aside, tell her about e-bikes. But once again, don't go up to her begging for one. Say something that's still smart but emotional. Such as, "All my friends have e-bikes and I want to get outside the house to ride with them and I always feel left out." And this one might not be the best example, but something like, "Mom, my friends got an e-bike and I've never seen them complain to their parents afterwards." Now that one isn't the greatest example, but really something along the lines of that that's emotional but still sounds smart. Which if you guys want an updated video where I talk about stuff like that, such as actually good examples, let me know in the comments and I'll try and make one. And another good time to bring up e-bikes is actually even joking about it. Like for example, Christmas gifts is getting brought up and you just jokingly say, "Yeah, an e-bike would be great." And now usually this doesn't work for convincing them, but it kind of lightens the mood of talking about e-bikes. And it doesn't seem like something annoying where it's always getting brought up in the wrong times. And also, don't be impatient. I see tons of kids begging their parents for one, expecting to get one within a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months. And although that may already sound like a long period of time, sometimes it may take a year or two. Which sure, that does really suck, but would you rather wait a year or two or wait until you have to buy one yourself? So anyways, in conclusion, don't go up to your parents begging for a Suron or something really nice from the start. Give them actually smart and well-defined experiences and things of why you want an e-bike. And most importantly, don't constantly beg them. Wait for the right times and be patient. And if you do all those, I can almost guarantee you'll have one of these in your driveway soon enough. So anyways, once again, if this video helped, make sure to subscribe. And I really hope to see you guys in my future videos.